Do you know what country is the rape capital of the world? That is the most rapes per 100,000 citizens? I don't think you'll guess. It's not Russia or Venezuela or Colombia or Saudi Arabia. It's not an authoritarian regime or a misogynistic place at all, not a country with Sharia law. The answer is Sweden. Only tiny Lesotho, a mini country completely surrounded by South Africa, has a higher rate of rapes than Sweden. How could this be? Isn't Sweden the most progressive country in the world? Aren't they the most feminist? I mean, they practically invented the modern liberal welfare state. I mean, Sweden's the country of ABBA and Volvo and IKEA. Since when did that progressive paradise become the rape capital of the world? Seriously, it's twice as rapey as Jamaica or Bolivia, number 2 and number 3. Those are crime-infested countries that have a reputation for roughness. Sweden? Yeah, and we touched on it the other day in this video here about the violent stabbing spree by 2 refugees to Sweden from Eritrea. See, Sweden used to be a liberal paradise, but now it's a violent go-to destination for anyone in Somalia, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan who can manage to get on a plane to Stockholm and then plead that they're refugees. The country has less than 10 million citizens, or just 2% of the population of the entire European Union, but they accept 14% of all European Union refugees. They love to import people from the worst countries in the world. The worst measured by human rights, by peace, by civil rights, by rights for women. So what's happening is Sweden is de-Swedenifying itself, and it's Afghanistanifying itself. It's Somaliaizing itself. It's bringing in people who don't share Sweden's views about the equality of men and women, or the rule of law, or nonviolence, or the equality of all races and religions. Now, back in 1975, when ABBA was at their height, and Sweden was a worldwide role model, it was uniformly Swedish, and it had a low crime rate. There were 421 rapes reported in the entire year for the country, for a population of over 8 million people. Now today, Sweden has about 9.5 million people, all driven by open immigration. So it's 18% bigger, but there were 6,620 rapes last year. So the population is up by 18%, but rapes have increased by 1,472%. The phenomenon of gang rapes was once unheard of in Sweden. Now it is not uncommon for Swedish women to be raped by 6 or 7 men at a time in immigrant slums. That's shocking. Even more shocking are white, liberal Swedish judges who rule that the cultural background of rapists is a mitigating factor, or some judges who even claim that the rapes were consensual. There's a willful blindness to what's going on, because like in that British city of Rotherham, where Pakistani rape gangs raped 1,400 young girls over a period of years, there, the police and the politicians and the media made the decision that they would rather endure the rapes and other violence than endure the political consequences of naming the problem and dealing with it. An alien culture driven by Islamic refugees that treats white women as rapeable. Political correctness on this issue is so strong that police in Rotherham preferred to let the rapes continue than to risk being called intolerant or racist. Same thing's happening now in Sweden. This month, it wasn't a gang rape that shocked the nation. It was a stabbing spree at IKEA. The official response was to ban IKEA from selling steak knives and to deploy more policemen, not at IKEAs, but to protect Muslim immigrant slums from a make-believe backlash. It just showed just how deeply in denial officials in that country have become. Now, that's politicians and bureaucrats and journalists everywhere, I think. It's not normal people, though. Normal Swedes can't believe what's happened. They truly are a liberal people. They are not racist. They are tolerant. They are open. But it's a paradox. Those same values of openness have allowed the racists in, the intolerant people in, the closed-minded people in, the violent people in. They are so liberal that they have welcomed in 500,000 illiberal people. Well, look at this stunning story in Europe's Financial Times. The anti-immigration party, called the Sweden Democrats, are now in first place in opinion polls, double where they were just a year ago. Imagine that. Their central platform is to stop immigration in Sweden. Well, if there were 5 rapes a day in Stockholm and 4 of them were from refugees who refused to assimilate and integrate into a liberal society, how long would you wait before you said enough? It's not just Sweden. Across in Denmark, The Danish People's Party came in second this summer on a similar platform. Same with the True Finns Party in Finland this spring. True Finns and Norway's Progress Party have actually joined government coalitions. What does this all mean? Does it mean that Scandinavians, the most tolerant people in the world, are now racists and bigots? That the most progressive people in the world are now neo-Nazis, haters, rednecks? No, I don't think so. I think it actually means the opposite. I think it means they have decided to value their tolerant beliefs enough in women's rights, in peace, in nonviolence, that they will endure criticism from politically correct name-callers on the left, calling them racist. They will endure political criticism if it means stopping the rape crime wave that's sweeping their country. Look, they want to take their country back. It's a cautionary tale about indiscriminate immigration and insufficient assimilation, about not screening out newcomers to make sure they share cultural values and a belief in Western concepts of a law and even morality. Now, thankfully, Canada has not become a rape capital like Sweden, but you can see the same politically correct reaction, the spin doctors jumping into action after every honor killing in Canada too, saying, oh, it's no big deal, it's got nothing to do with radical Islam, don't you worry. In Sweden, they are worrying. Wouldn't you? For TheRebel.media, I'm Ezra Levant.